now. And now I'm going to try share again. And
It's showing that you've started. Yay, Gail, you did it.
okay, do you see winter holidays?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Whew. Okay. Okay. So, and it's popping around here. So I'm not going to go through this part. That's just there if you'd like to know more about that. And we went through what they are. So here are two of the gnomes that I did that just had hats and the noses and the beards, and they just sort of fit there. So that's how they got that spot. Okay, these are three of my other gnomes that I did. And I know some people, I know Wanda especially likes to take pictures when I put something on the screen, and having it on the video and in the PowerPoint means that she already has a good picture of it. Okay. And I did this, Wanda, before I knew you were taking the class. I just
Oh.
decided it was helpful. And I did it the same way. I rolled a die. That's how I got the hat. I rolled for the beard, threw in the nose, of course, and then for its body. And those are the other three that I've done. And they are all very different. So I wrote this. Oopsie. Let's go back one. I actually developed this class in July because we were going to spend a month on the road visiting our kids and stuff. And so in Colorado for a week, I drew all those gnomes and I put this gnome game together. And while I was there, my son-in-law called me. We were going to Montana and we are going to be there about 5 days later. He asked me if I would teach something about Zentangle at Dad's camp. And so he has a seventh grader and a ninth grader. And for the last several years, he has Dad's camp. This is an old, I think, Lutheran church camp that is on Forest Service land. And our daughter and son-in-law and five other families have had the lease for this property for more than 20 years. And it's like 4.5 acres. The building on the left is where I taught. That's the dining room, the living room, and actually a commercial kitchen. And then these are the two bunkhouses that you see there. So I thought, well, okay, I'll teach this because I have gnomes. Okay, so I just stopped and bought pens for everybody. And then I went there, and there were supposed to be four seventh graders and four ninth graders, but one of each grade. One had a dental appointment and had to go back into town for this, and one did something else. So here they are working outside on the picnic table. So this is tried and true. And this is what they made. And I have to tell you, the funniest thing is as they were working, they started making stories about the gnomes. Like one of them was 250 years old, another one, its whole family died in COVID. He was the only one left. I mean, it was amazing. And I mean, some of the creativity from here. I mean, these kids did not have any Zentangle. I had some papers there that they could look at. And they just did what they wanted to do. My favorite one is one of here with the sticky legs. I don't know. Do you see my pointer? Um, they put hair on its legs, like its hair is sticking out. Anyway, they talked about these gnomes for ages. So here they all are standing on the picnic table holding their particular gnomes. Anyway, it was a hoot. And that's when I really decided you really could do this. You really could do this with really 4-year-olds on up. And with adults, They have a glass of wine or two? Go for it. So, also, I gave you some of the appendices of some of the classes I've taught before, but I didn't include all of them because it was a lot to print out. So I put the stuff about the marginalia on here so you could access this. And I put more of the wreaths there and a list of the various patterns that you could use. And there's flux and there is whatchamajigger. Can't remember.
Kerfuffle.
Yes, yeah. And then here are more Christmas trees with more um, things added there. So you have some that you just have 2 pages that I added on to the thing, but that's more. So we'll stop the share. Okay. So on the video, you'll be able to stop that at any place. And really, if you want me to send you the PowerPoint separately, it takes a lot of memory, and so it usually has to go to Google Drive, but I can send it to you and you could just have the PowerPoint also separately. Okay? So now I am going to go over to here and I'm going to pin my drawing thing right here. And so here are these gnomes again. So this gnome, if it doesn't, oh, now why is that? That is fuzzy. I made my thing higher because I made this higher because I have to get some stuff under it today, but maybe, why is it just not in focus? That is weird. Now, I've had all kinds of interesting things today. And now I can't manipulate this. Hmm.
It looks pretty in focus for us.
Oh, it's focus for you? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
good. So if you don't have a skinny leg person like this, you can actually cut it out and punch a hole in it and make it a Christmas ornament.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay. And
I'm not seeing any of it. Am I doing something wrong?
are you on an iPad?
Yes.
Okay. You need to swipe your screen, I think from right to left. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It's because on an iPad you can't see all of the different tiles of the people in the class. And just think of my drawing place as one of the people. Okay. So so
That's a
you
nice
can
student.
so
And
you
then
can
you can
cut
pin
it,
it if you want.
Linda.
If you're on an iPad, you can pin it. So hit the screen and it'll say, do you want to pin? And then it'll make it full screen.
Oh, that's because I can barely see it.
Right. So you want to pin it.
I don't.
Oh, so
Where?
Linda, I spotlighted it and it's not taking over your main screen totally?
Well, so this is the sliding back and forth. It will on the main screen, but if you're on the one with all the pictures,
Oh,
I
okay.
am. I don't know how to pin it. Where's the?
so touch on it, and you
Yep.
might have to touch twice. And then it'll say chat or pin.
Okay, I hit chat.
Diane, it might be a little three dot menu in the corner of the screen of it.
In the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, upper right-hand corner.
No.
Now, on the iPad, you just have to double tap and it'll say pin.
And where does it say pin?
It comes up when you double tap.
It's not.
Okay, sorry.
Participants chat, reaction, share, record, more. More?
No, okay, you can try
Cool.
more, but I think it's on the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
Mm,
Are there three dots up there?
Yeah, I just hit it,
Okay, and then choose pin.
but I don't see pin. Three dots, show chat reviews is what it says.
Oh.
Well, well, I don't want to hold everybody. Go ahead.
I'm
Well,
Googling.
the video is going to have it be a full screen,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
Because I'm on Spotlight here and I'm seeing what the video is going to have.
Okay.
I
Linda, I'm
assume the
seeing
video is still recording. How can I tell if the video is still recording?
Apple support says sometimes you
Oh,
have to,
there it says
you have to
recording.
triple tap.
Yep, yep, I see recording. Okay. Okay, so what I was going to say about this, if you cut it out, you can do the reverse side of it also. So if you really wanted, you could, or you could just make it a solid color or not have written all over it like I did on the back of this one. Okay, so this would not make good for an ornament, but it would work for a card or something. And this would be a good ornament. And this would be a good ornament. There's no reason why you can't do just a head, a hat, and a beard. So his beard would be a little hard to cut out, but this guy's beard would be easy. And this guy would be easy to make into an ornament. And so would this. Oh no, he's got skinny legs. I need to put hair on his legs, I think. Okay, so first, there are several people who aren't here who are who want some reviews. So I am going to, sorry, I have to get rid of this. I have to clear my screen up so I can see something here. So I'm just going to run over some of these filler tangles that I have listed there. And so if it's pertant, it's just a snail sound like that. And of course, you can always make it weighted. Okay. The
Mm.
next one that I left there is therefore, which is just simply the therefore sign of geometry. Doodah works really well with some of these because along the rim of the hats, or if you make a trim on the bottom of some of their clothes, their shirts look more like dresses. They always have. So doodad is just between two lines, and it goes up and comes down 3/4 of the way up, all the way across. Whoopsie, that one all the way. And then you just turn the paper over, and now you go back, and your lines are just in and out. And as someone told me, it looks like I'm making a colon, your intestines. And then you can fill in these little interstices there. So that's doodah, and it works good for something like that. And static is simply like lightning, and then all you do is aura it. Whoopsie. Okay. The next one I had there was craziness Pell, which would just be a bunch of hatching that you make in a piece of clothing or in the hat. And then all you do is you stuff a balloon into each section, and a balloon could never go into the corner. And I made this large. It wouldn't obviously be as large on the gnomes because they're not this big. Just finish this one. And then we have flux, and I've always been a Rick's flux person, which is just like a leaf that goes like that. And I always put 2 or 3 little dots there. And it can go around. And these are all things that you'll see in those gnomes that I made going behind there. And Flores. Flores is also something gritty, but it doesn't have to be straight. It can be cockeyed. And just at every intersection, you make a little diamond. And so with these gnomes, you can do any of this in color. You can do it with any kind of colored pen or colored pencil. I know one of the people who is going to be taking this class by video. She's now what happened there? I didn't touch. Can you hear it? And that just started. That started when Val checked out. Oh, it's not there. Is it here? It stopped. This is haunted, you guys. Okay, so that's Flores. So all of these things are just flexible. And tipple is just a bunch of orbs. And I always, so let's say I have this space that I'm filling. I always put in my big orbs first. And then I go in and fill it in because you never want it to look like it's a can of peas. Can get another big orb there. Okay. That's tipple. Knightsbridge is another grid tangle. And give it as like a checkered board. And I'm not filling in gently, but each of the corners, this corner is going to be colored in wherever the corners touch. Where the corners kiss, it's either white or black, depending on what it is, but I'm working on the filling in. So wherever a corner touches another corner, that has to look the same. So when you think about it, this is white. It's kissing this one on the corner, so it has to be white. It has to be white, white, and white. Poke root just has a simple stem. And it looks like a cherry. And what they're so nice about, what I like them so much for is when they go behind other pieces. I think they look nice when they're tucked up. And is another real simple one, just like therefore. Is just like an asterisk. And it can have more. It can be, and you don't have to cross it like that. You can build it leaving the center plane and just go around like a 4th of July firework. And then crescent moon has to sit on some kind of a line. It's just, we had this in the very first class, just the moon shape, and then ordering it as many times as you want, and it can go around in a circle. It's also great for some of the hat stuff. Echoism is just like this. It's like a capital L that just keeps going, and it can get little and it can get big. Diva dance is a squiggly line. And then another one that basically ORs it, but then you add weight or humps in different sections of it. So the next time when you OR it, it changes. And I can go both ways. On the first line, if I go back there, and they can be big or little. And you just keep adding like bumps. That's the simple diva dance. And Shattuck is another one that goes between two lines. And I just usually do a back and forth like this to begin with. And so then if I do Shattuck, I'm going to use this as the base. I'm going to OR this. This is the base for the next one. It will go OR the other direction. I'm sorry, I'm curving this more than the first line. OR, so every other one will look like the one that's two below it. Huggins, I did Huggins in the last class. That's where you have C's that are back to back, and then the other one goes over the top. And if you feel like you're a real beginner, I would skip this one for now, okay? And then this is going to be the opposite. That's just a reminder. And fescue, just the reason I put those down as flourishes because you can put fescue and zinger coming out of their hats and stuff, or if they have a hole in their clothing. So fescue traditionally is just a little dot like that. I tend to make it as more of a teardrop. And zinger is you just aura, and it comes off. I think I have a, oh, I didn't have a zinger there. I thought I had a zinger there, but I don't. Okay. So those are just some very, very simple things. So now, take out your 5 tile or your 3x5 tile. And let's see, Gay, do you have do you have a die with you?
No, I just do everything in my notebook.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the die for you. Okay, are you ready? You're write down 2. 2
Okay.
is gonna be the hat that you do.
Okay.
4 is your beard. And 5 is your bottom. And I didn't do mine, so everybody else has one, right? Because I checked with you before, and I am going to do, I have a 6 and a 2 and a 2. Okay, I'm sure none of us have the same. So just look at your tile. You're going to want to make your hat not quite half, but almost half. So if you want, you can just take a little pencil and just draw it, just draw there. That's sort of where your hat is going to go above. So whatever your number is, okay, you're going to draw a hat in this area.
Excuse me, Gail, I'm gonna leave the meeting because I can't see anything and I haven't drawn anything in a year. So it's too hard for me to put it together. But so I'll get it on the video.
Okay, so the video will probably come out tonight.
Okay,
Okay, and Diane, if you're having any trouble with it, please let me know.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Have
okay,
fun, gals.
okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I start with the bottom because then I'm gonna hook a big nose up there. So you're gonna do your hat. And of course, you can do any changes that you want to your hat because you're all artists and you're all talented. Are there any questions?
No.
Now, before I start putting any fillers in, I then go and do my second section. So I'm going to put my nose in. The nose always comes next. Oh, I'm doing that beard. And of course, you can use drawing behind any place you want. It always makes things more interesting. Val, would your mom like this? Val?
She excuse me, sorry. Um she's done Zentangle before. She hasn't been doing a lot of drawing lately, but she might find this fun for a
I mean,
change of pace.
I would think that she doesn't have to do Zentangle, and she likes. So Val's mom is in a assisted living place, and Val's mom likes helping people and being a bit in charge. So I think she might want to do this with some of the people that she feels she's in charge of.
Oh, well, she's gonna have a few steps to get to that place, I think, but um I will definitely show her our gnomes.
And mine looks like a walrus right here. Okay, I'm gonna have to make this into two pieces of a beard. I don't know why Diane couldn't get to pin the screen. So those of you who haven't done the video since I started pinning, when I'm pinned like this, it will be the whole video. There'll just be little tiles of you at the top of the class going across the top edge. Okay, and what am I wearing? Oh, I have skinny legs. Okay. Hmm. So though I have skinny legs and I took over too much, I'm gonna have long pants, I guess, and skinny legs down to his boots. It's my chance to do hairy legs. And you can use your imagination and put arms in if you want. Mine I think would look better with some arm here. Something that looks like it's tucked behind its back.
They're so cute, Gail. I have to admit, I went ahead and did a few. This is number 3.
You were working before class?
Well, when you have to keep your feet up all the time, I'm still not cleared for any PT.
Uh-huh.
So I've been off my feet and I've been getting things done. Oh, the hair on the legs is really cute. Oh my
I love it.
God. He needs a little shave, doesn't he?
Yes. I think I need to put more hair on this guy's legs. I happen to love the Aura ladybugs. I'm just going to make ladybugs. I did this on one of my other ones. I don't remember one, but I'm going to put ladybugs across here just because I think it works. Hmm. Maybe put one up here. Sorry, I talked to myself. I don't need for you to all be able to hear me, but Do any of you think you'll use this game with someone else?
Yes, my grandkids.
Who said that?
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I did it with my youngest grandkids already this summer, so but I'm thinking of doing it with my son's family, which will be a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old when they're here at Christmas. So
Fun.
I can let you know how that goes. Of course, they're too young to drink, but they always have a drink, so um, they may find this is fun.
We always start an art project with like the junior high and high school kids, and by the time things get going, most of the adults are involved.
Good. So the things that I've colored mine with color pastel pencils, watercolor pencils, because I like to use this little, where are they? I like to use this little brush thing that has the water in the tank. And and then of course all kinds of gel pens and stuff like that. I find it interesting how gnomes have become so ubiquitous around the whole world. I mean, they really have caught on in the last couple of years as a symbol of winter, and I didn't mean to make mine so complicated. Mhm. This one may be a combination of watercolor pencil and um, pastels. And you don't need to, it doesn't have to be totally beautiful. I mean, I may go back personally afterwards and finish a little more of the inking. Because I'd love for you to start a second one, but not quite yet. I'm going to start working here. So I did watercolor pencils on another one, and I had to actually, it was one of these stringy beards. I can't remember which one it was. And I had to go back in with a white gel pen to add a little more white to the beard, which had by mistake gotten too much of the cloth in it. I think. Whoops. How are you feeling about life, ladies?
There's no place like Nome.
Okay.
I didn't bring my Inktense pencils out and I am missing them.
My favorite thing doing this with these girls was when they started making these stories. So I think if you do this with young kids, I would definitely encourage them to do that. And you could write the story down or you could record it. Um,
My granddaughter's 8 and my grandson's 6, and they're
oh,
always full of stories. So,
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to remove the pin and we're just going to look at what we have at this point. I thought we could start another one, or what we could do, we could go on to boxes and then come back to this. I mean, I don't quite know what you do. Usually I have a real definite plan. This time it's more, um, there are more different things you can do with the boxes that I want to share. So um, let's let's look at what you have at this point. We'll take the usual picture that I do, and then I'll actually go to boxes, then we'll have a break. We'll come back, we'll work on boxes, and then maybe go back to gnomes. I sound so wishy-washy. Okay, hold up your gnome to the screen. Okay, Gay, it's on your face. So you're gonna the camera is no, you're gonna have to move the gnome back to your face. So it's in focus. Oops. Um, you have the background thing, so it's only your face that can you remove that thing? Okay, I want to see what we have. Look, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna take that. And look at the difference we have. Can you peek around and you can see? You see, everyone's is totally different. Don't you just love it? Oh, and you went ahead and used one of the new tangles I'm going to teach, Wanda. You are working ahead. Okay. I love your fat legs, Linda. That's interesting. And look at the hats. The hats are so different. I also like, let's see. Oh, I like all your hairy stuff that you have, Val, that's sticking out. And several of you have gone up on the diagonal with the design. That's really cool. Oh, and Wanda has a Christmas tree and a cardinal there too. So that's excellent. Okay, ladies, you can put it down. But so I have one of those, so I will send it to everybody. So, okay, I'm going to semi-clear this mess and then I'm gonna take the boxes down. So here are 3 boxes that I've already made. And this box, I made a mistake. Oh, I'm gonna pin this so you can see it while I'm gonna spotlight it so you can see while I'm talking. Okay. So this one, I made a mistake and I cut a tab off where I wasn't supposed to. So I taped the inside of it there. Okay. And so this is not going to look like nice as a box. So I've decided I'm going to make this into an ornament. So all that you have to do is, except for my paper clip is stuck here, is just take a string like this and put a knot in it. And I'm going to slide it in here. Now, it's under, so there are 3 flaps there. So I'm going to slide it under there. And I'm going to put glue on all 3 of these things that are sticking out and along the 3 edges of the lid. So this is going to be made into an ornament. And you could put beans in here or something like that, so that if anyone knocked it, it would shake and makes a noise. I'm just holding it now. So how did I do this? The first thing I did is I took a tile that I had done Zentangle on before. I think it was a Zendala. So it was like a 6-inch in diameter circle. And I put it up on my computer screen and I made it to print it. I told it to fill the screen. And so I printed it on a whole sheet of paper. And then I flipped my paper over and I did the pattern that I sent to all of you. And then I cut it out. So that's what I've done. So you can use tiles that you've already made. So this was just printed on green paper. And so now this is a Christmas ornament. Okay. This is another one that I had this before. And this one I can make into a box. Now, the pattern that I sent you for the box, I have 2 of them, and some of them end up with a flap on the lid and not all the way around the 3 edges, and some don't. And I don't know which one I sent you and which ones I ended up using here. So this can be a box because it didn't require any repair. And so you can decide, do you want all 3 sides here, or do you want to get rid of them and just have an edge? So I'm gonna, for this one, I can do something different from everyone. I have these little great scissors here. And I am just gonna cut that tab off there and this tab off here. Sorry, it's not under the screen. And now I just have this thing left. And so for a lid, I can put this under there. And so really for the cardstock that I used, I just, with my fingernail, press it down more and just flip it under and it will hold it. So again, this was a previous tile that I did and I printed it and then I cut it out. There are going to be 9 of us for Christmas dinner this year. Usually we're either someplace else or nobody is here and we just do it with a bunch of friends. But so everybody is going to get one of these and they're just going to draw them. This was a photograph that I had. And I kind of liked, it was a close-up, obviously, you can see those little furry things. And so you can just take a photograph you have, print it on one side, and then print your pattern on the other. So those three are there. And so this is one before it's cut. So this is a 8.5 by 11. It was a brown piece of paper. And on the back of it, you see, I just printed the design. And so now I would just cut it out and score it. And this would be the outside of the box. And the box, I mean, you can put candies in it. If you have 11 and 12-year-old girls who are starting to have pierced ears, you could put a little pierced earring in there or something like that. And then these, I've just made a whole bunch of these. I've already just printed them and they're just ready to either tangle, cut out and tangle, or else to print something else on the other side. Now, since we're all done at different sides, oh, I wanted to, okay, I'm going to show you the boxes and we'll go back and do the two new tangles and then we'll decorate our boxes. So you got this design. It was part of your handout because if you're going to make a box and you're going to tangle it and you don't want to do the bottom, this is the section that you're not going to do. Okay, so that's why I included that. So you didn't do that. So in this tangle, which I'm going to do in a few minutes after our break, I, I wanted it to look like a package when it was done. So I cut it out. I started doing the fold. I did it wrong. So I turned it over and I did it correctly on this side. So the inside of this one is actually going to have a little tiny bit of a pattern on it. So to show you what it'll look like when it's glued together. So with this one, as I did it, I did the bow at the top and I did this, and then I had to figure out how it was going to cross on the bottom, that it would come down. I had to do the four sides. And then once I did the sides that came off of the top, then I could go across and do the bottom. And this I'll glue afterwards. You can see I started doing this wrong here, so I just flipped it over and did it again. So whoever gets this one gets a little fancy lid, a two-sided lid. So I'll glue that one afterwards. Here is one that I did that was Huggins, Crazy Huggins. So I cut it out and so one of the other ones, and it's all set to fold. This one I made in July when I decided I was going to do this. I want to actually glue this one because we'll all be finished at different times, and I just want you to see how to glue it. Do any of you have something called glitter glue? Glitter glue? Okay. It's a really pretty fabulous glue, and it has a tiny um, point at the end. The glue comes out very fine, and even though it's a wet glue, it dries super fast. And if you had that, I would use it, but I'm just using a glue stick. So when you do a side, you're just going to have to put your fingers in and press it for a while. So that's, see, I glued the wrong thing. I glued the inside. Okay, we'll start on the other side. I'll let that get, I need to glue the outside of these tabs so they are in here.
Gail, the template that we got is different than yours.
I'm sorry.
The template that I printed off is different than the one that you are showing us.
Yeah, I have two different templates. Um, you
Oh,
have this one.
I
They're
have one
actually,
that has 3 tabs on 2 of the squares.
yes, right here. And then you have one tab on the end.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And this one is different. I didn't know which one I sent you. Okay, it just doesn't matter. The tabs for the box have to be on the inside of the sides. You see, this one has, this doesn't have, this one has all those tabs. These are the extra tabs that I just cut off the top of the other one, the ones I'm holding here.
Yeah, I
So,
think I'm getting it because I'm looking at the photograph in the handout.
yes, you
Yeah, and
see,
it doesn't look like what I'm holding in my hand.
there's this one,
Yep. Mhm.
and then there's this one.
Okay.
Okay, but they're going to go together the same way.
Were there 2 of them in that email?
No, there was only one. I
Okay.
didn't
Mhm.
realize I had two different, I didn't realize
Got it.
until
I
this
got it. Yeah.
morning
Mhm.
I had two different patterns for the same box. And I've been making different ones and not even realizing that they weren't the same. Okay, but when you put the box together, you need the tabs to be on the inside of the sides. Okay, so these have 2 tabs here. They need to be on the inside of the side that you're going to attach. So I'll do that right now. And I think I have one with 3, and if it has 3, it just ends up with one on the top, like the one I just cut off. So I have glue, whoopsie, and under my fingernail. Okay, glue on these 2. Now I'm going to pull up the side. And now I am going to just hold these things. Let me move this lid back. I am pressing down on the inside, making sure that I'm holding these flat. So this means I'm gluing one of the sides now. It's a 3-sided box. And this glue stick that I have is super, super sticky. In fact, I'm going to wipe it on my jeans. And so now to do the other one, I'm putting the glue on the outside of that tab, both sides. And now I'm going to pull down the other side of the box. And only the lid is showing now. The lid is standing up. You can see inside the box now. Whoops, I got to hold this one. I'm going to press the box down and hold. I'm pressing the opposite side now to these 2 tabs. Not holding it for long enough. I think I have more glue stick on my fingers than on the tabs. I'm just pressing. I actually need a tad more glue stick right here. You see my little, it's just not enough glue stick there. So there's the box. The one with the 3 tabs all around the 2 sides, you end up with a tab here and a tab here. That's what I cut off. This one, the lid just has this thing, so I would just fold it and I would just push it down and that would close the box.
Gail, is this the one you would suggest if you're going to put something inside of it, like for a gift
Yeah,
presentation?
you can
Okay.
put anything inside this.
Yep. Mhm. Got it.
And so when I have these 9 people here at Christmas, I think what I'll just do is I'll get some Christmas candies and put some in each one. Okay, so then I just tuck it in. So now that's a box. And this one is a box. See, that had the lid there. So this is the one, Wanda, that I cut the extra sides off of. So
Oh, I
this
see. I see. Yeah.
case,
Mhm.
I'm touching the lid down here and I'm putting the lid on the top of it to hold it that way.
I admit I'm chopping one up. I mean, I'm cutting one out right now just to have it in my
Okay.
brain, you know.
So before we take a break, I just want to talk about scoring it because I think I think you may want to get something to help you score. So I score, so this knob is pretty big, but um, I don't like to use something that's pointy, like the pointy end of this, because you'll make a hole there. You can use all kinds of things. You can use actually, where did my scissors go? You can use the back side. Do you have any idea how messy this is? Here it is. You could actually use the back side of a blade of of a of a pair of scissors, not the pointy side, but the back side. And you really need to lean it on something that is a little bit soft. So if you have a mouse pad, some people lean on a mouse pad when they score. This is just a piece of mat board that has some nap on it, some velvet. So I just take this is what I'm going to do later. I just take my ruler and just something that's blunt but will make it so I can fold it and just rub it along that line a couple times. I don't want to cut it. I just want to score it so that when I go to bend it, it will bend easily. So all I do is just line up my ruler. And because I know this has a knob on it, I can't line it up right there. I need to make some room for my knob. So it will land on that black line that's there that got printed. So I do that. And
Yeah,
this
I have one of those scoring tools.
this is a scoring tool. There are so many different scoring tools. Um,
So here's what I just used. It's
yes,
for paper folding. Yep.
yes,
Mhm.
that's fine. That's
And in my studio here, I have one of those cutting mats that I would use like for cutting fabric. I use it for cutting paper.
uh-huh.
And they seem to have like enough give to it that when you run the scoring, yeah, this is folding really nice.
So the thing you're holding is called a bone folder. And
Right.
that's
Mhm.
for pressing the edges. Now, my bone folders don't have sort of points like that because I use one that's has Teflon. That's Teflon because it doesn't mark the paper.
Well,
So when you
didn't
when
we use
you
those when we did a lot of bookbinding stuff or bookmaking
yeah,
stuff? I
yeah,
think that's where I probably picked that up.
yes. So when you are going to go all the way across and do what essentially is the bottom and 2 tabs, you're just going to set it up and you're going to score all the way across there. You need to score each tab also. So that way I get to score 3 tabs at once. Because the one I sent you has all the extra tabs, I think. Whoopsie. I know I haven't done this one, the one on the end. Another surface that you could use is you can open up a book, some sort of a big book, because if you have a bunch of pages like this and you lean on something like this, it gives. It's just that it's really difficult to score on a hard surface desk or counter. It just doesn't make the indentation.
I did little Christmas houses with our kids as a art box project. I used to send them a priority mailbox, and then there was a project inside of it. And we did something very, very similar to this. We had a little roof on it and all that sort of thing, you know.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of those projects I knew the kids couldn't accomplish, but the moms loved them and the moms did them, you know. So, but this is a nice size. It's not so big.
Yes, it's not too big. So now, when you fold, and we may not all be in the same point, and I'll do this again, is if I'm folding this bottom edge up here, over which is essentially the bottom of the box, I'm paying attention to the lines that I have here. I may have cut a little squirrely, but I want to fold it correctly. So I can either use my finger like that, or I have a bone folder with me too. Okay. Sometimes if so my other side, I'm lining up, paying attention to the sides. Mine's a little off center, so I'm scooching the piece of paper slightly to the left to straighten it out so the box will be straight. If you have done, there's pros and cons about doing the art first. If you're, when you print it, when I print a previous Zentangle tile or a photograph, it's already printed and I do it. If you're drawing on it, you may get a hump on some of these places. So some people like to have an edge because you may want to make a border around where the crease is. So you have to sort of decide about that. So I'm just going to fold my other folds. Here is my first tab. I'll fold it this way. Here's another tab. Another tab. Another one. And I can see here that I didn't cut this exactly the same. I have a little edge sticking out here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that so the edge meets it now. It's not cheating. It's just accommodating the differences because it's handmade. And I can see I'm going to have the same thing on this other side right here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see right here? It sticks out there. Okay, mine is folded. That one is. I have several others here. Um, let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back and we'll do the two new tangles that were just released. I need to get rid of this. Um, Move the spotlight. There we go. We'll do those, the new tangles. They are the bonus and the Holly Lane, which for you guys are all very experienced. I bet you're just looking at this and thinking easy peasy. So, so in 5 minutes, I'm going to clean up my desk. You can talk, you can do whatever you want, but my thing will ring in 5 minutes here. I need to fix this. I need to.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay. So this first one, bonus. If you're gonna put this on a box, you definitely have to pre-fold the box because you're gonna do the bonus on the top, and then you're gonna have to line up where all of the ribbons go around. So that works for a pre-folded one. So the bonus, it really can be 4, 5, 6 of these things, and it's just in the center. So you just start off with an orb. Ooh, what is wrong with this pen? Oh, it's okay. Just looks bad. And then you're just going to make these explanation point things. And mine are wonky, but my bows are wonky also. So the next step is making this C shape that comes off of the right side of that leaf thing. Now, what I didn't understand in the beginning is you're going to connect the end of that stroke with the top of the teardrop that's to the right side of it, or the explanation point that's to the right side of it. I thought I was going back over here, but so my C shape is here. And now I'm going to basically be doing a wiggly or an S thing from the one that's to the right of it. And see, now that looks like one section of a bow. And this really, guys, looks like as good as packaging as I ever do. So you go off of that tear shape or that explanation point and connect to that C that was sticking up. Oops. Okay, now I think that the shading in here is kind of important. If you look, and I think it's easiest to see it in the middle red bow that she has on that example. Can you see that in this tear shape place? And I don't usually do shading at this point, but she is adding shade here because of course it's hidden. So I'm just scribbling some stuff in. I mean, I can color this in, but whatever is here is going to be darker. I'm going to take my stump and move that around some too. And I'm just using the edge of it. It's going to be darkest there, and so I'm just pushing some away. It's darkest right along that edge where you laid the graphite down. She colored all of hers in, and you can do it. So she did the bottom bow on the right hand side. That's just done with pen and ink, but the other ones are done in color, except for that little tiny one that she did up there in that threesome thing. But I don't think that looks so much. Yeah, it's a white bow. It's a white bow. It can be a white bow, but I think basically it needs some kind of color there. And if I took, I'm just gonna, I'll be very unoriginal. I'll do what she did. Just throwing in some red watercolor pencil here.
Gail, this tangle was in the Inktober 31 tangles for October.
Right.
And it was so clever. And some of those were a little, I don't know, I was kind of in my surgery mode. So some days I did things and I'm not sure what I was doing. But when I got to this one, it was just like, oh, this one is awesome, you know.
A lot of us didn't like this year nearly as much as the past years. I was tangling with a group. Now on this next one, I'm gonna emphasize some shadow. I'm gonna show you some highlight. So I just sort of did that a solid color. In this case, and then I'll finish saying what I was saying. I'm gonna put my color down here. And I'm gonna put color over here. And when I move the color, I'm going to try to leave as much of this part whitish or less red because it is highlighted and it will make the bow look more rounded. Taking some of the color off and just so if you have a white chalk, so I can go back to the first one that I did. I actually would add a little more red pencil down here. This is not dark enough. I mean, red watercolor. But not in the middle. So if if it was solid like that, I would go back in and here is some white chalk pencil. I just sort of scrub there.
What did you say the name of this tangle was?
It's called bonus, BOWNUS, bonus. Do you have the handout there?
Yeah,
It's on page. It's on page 3.
got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Welcome. Oh, wrong
That was the
table.
page that was sticking together.
Oh, okay.
I look through it and go, where are you? Okay.
So you obviously need a little color in the bottom of where the bow is folded. Now, you could leave it white. I'm doing 3 that are colored, and then I'm gonna do 3 that are white. Just because I can. So if you wanted to leave something white, oh, this is where I want to put the lid on. You could use a pen. I'm just gonna make some, I'm gonna make some lines and some sort of dots here. So just using this as my guide. And then for shading, we all need to be shaded down here near the bottom. I'll just run some shading in there now. And there'd be, this part is curving around, so it will be a little, there will be a little shading over here also. Going up, keeping that part. Whoopsie. But get rid of that there. So my ribbon is very unique. It's somehow we produced it so it's red and white with dots. We can put this down there. I sort of feel like um, I lost the bow here. And so I am going to take I am actually going to redefine my lines for the ink. I'm going to use a slightly larger point. I had an 03, and so now I'm using an 05 because I just felt I sort of lost that line. I don't need to do it at the top of the bow. At this top edge, I just need to do it in here where the fold is. Basically the first two steps. So you can see from from her step outs, she made these straight edge things. The second thing from the bottom on the right, I actually don't personally like that. I mean, it would look like a bow if you had cut the ribbon. If you cut the ribbon across, it would look like that. Um, I really like this because I didn't remember any other I didn't remember any other thing that looked like a bow before. And I particularly like this red one in the middle of her sample because she's made it too too deep, two bows on top of each other. And I see some people who make packages like that. I've never wrapped a package like that. Questions, comments? So if you want it to wrap around, you just are going to add the ribbon like she did in the center red one, where it would just, oops, I need to get this pen. It would just comes off. And you could make it go around just two ways. And so I'm lining this up by drawing in the air from the first one, so I know sort of where to come out. Drawing in the air. So you could do a ribbon that just wraps around the package one way, or of course you could do two ways. I forgot to put it on spotlight. Damn, sorry. Sorry, you people who are watching. The next one I'll put on spotlight. So if you put your boas up as you have it, I'll take a picture. Oh, Linda's worked ahead. She's working on a box. Oh, okay. Well, hold it up, Val. I can't see it. Oh, you're all working on boxes. Okay, I love it. Oh, okay. I'm taking a picture. Hold still.
Oh, hang on, I gotta get mine up
Whoops.
here.
Okay, I got to do that again. Hang on. You guys jumped ahead of me. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it again. There we go. Okay. Oh, I like what you did there, Linda. Hold that green one up again for a second. See what she did with that bow? She really
Nice.
gave it a lot of movement, a lot of more movement than I had. Okay, I want to do Holly Lane, and I'm doing it on a tile. You can do it on a box, and you can, so I realize it can be used independently. you know, if it's on a box, and this is the lid. Oops, I need to do spotlight. Need to do spotlight. Spotlight. There we go. If you're doing it on a lid, you could just make big ones coming off of there and put red berries and just have your holly there. Or obviously you can make borders as she has done in this sample here. And so it's your choice, but you can see in her step outs on the lower left-hand side, see she's done one as if it was in a big triangle, or two, I think you'd want three or four if you're doing it on some sort of a lid. And then she has five in a circle. So it's sort of unlimited is what you can actually do. I think I am going to practice one. I'm just going to do one on a border, and then I'm going to do a freehand one. So on my tile, I'm just drawing a line to make a border, and I will just make it there, and then I'll do a freestanding one there. And I'll use a 5. Okay. It so you can see if you're going to do a border, you're just going to make uh, a zigzag, just like I did for the Shattuck. But the zigzag, that line becomes the center of the holly. And obviously it doesn't have to be as straight as that is. It can be bent because no holly leaf is exactly straight. And then it's just like a crazy M on both sides. And it doesn't have to be even. Or a small mountain range. And and I always turn my tile. I've done Zentangle long enough, and I'm just so much more comfortable if my hand. You can see this is really a quick tangle. And then you could put berries wherever you wanted it, wherever you wanted. So just a freewheeling one, I really would make more of a curved line. I'll make a cluster here. Oops. And for me, a cluster is 3 or 5, just because I like how odd numbers look. And then you throw some berries in there. What is this? There. The watercolor red better than I have here. I have a feeling you guys don't have many questions. Since you've already shot ahead.
I want to hear the rest of your opinion about Inktober.
Oh, okay. So on Tuesdays sometimes I meet with some ladies. One is from Scotland. One is an English woman who lives in Norway. Somebody in Maryland, someone in New York State, someone in Washington State, and someone in Maryland. And we were talking about it, and we were doing it when we were tangling on Tuesdays. And people said, "Did you like this as much as before?" And and I said immediately, I didn't. And everybody else chimed in and said, "Well, I like some of them, but I seem to like less." And so what I've done, let me get this book. Um, it is this one. This one. Where put it? Can't find the book right now. I have been doing Inktober in the same long accordion book. I can't find it. For 5 years. And I write the list of the tangles in the beginning, and then I go through, I do them in order. I can't believe I can't find that book. And when I really like something, I give it 4 stars and then 3 or 2. And I think I had 4 stars on about 3 or 4 tangles. That was it. And compared to other years, this is annoying because you'd see my coding system and I use it as a reference. Huh. Well, you know, it's like most art studios, you have too much damn stuff in here. You can't find stuff after a while. If I find it, I'll send you I'll do a photograph of the various years. And people just weren't as attracted. So Val, how did you feel about it?
I thought the same thing, and I thought, oh, it's just me.
Uh-uh.
And I just wasn't that excited about it.
Well, I would say that you're in agreement with like 6 of us.
Yeah, I did mine in a little book that Erin
Oh,
gave
everybody
me.
look at your screen. She's holding,
So I started off okay, and I was doing a lot of coloring.
wait a
But then,
second, let me change the spotlight.
oh,
I'm putting the spotlight on you.
so I started off getting a lot of color, and then
Okay, you can go slow now because you're in the spotlight.
I kind of faded away towards the end,
I faded away.
where I just wanted to be finished. I liked this one a lot, though.
I like that one, and I like that one with something that became before it or something.
This made me crazy.
Yeah.
I like Owl Peak.
Yes, I like that one too. I couldn't stand the one that looked like a fox.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of odd.
That was
Oh,
very
I love
oh,
that
And
one.
that's just I this
Halloween. You
was
were
the tangle, but I threw all
oh
the
yeah.
Halloween
Yeah,
stuff
you,
in with
you
it.
you were glad to be done
Yeah,
too. It was
I
Halloween.
was.
I I can't believe I can't find my book. It's here someplace.
So I did mine with each tangle separately with the step outs on it and then doing something at the bottom of the page. So it's a 6 by 9 book. And
Well,
then
hang
starting
on. I'm
along.
gonna spotlight you. Hang on. Hang on. Where are you? There you are.
And so there's the fox.
Well,
And then
it's a
Wait,
he
lot of work.
don't have you. Okay. Okay, now show us. Okay.
and then he popped up in some other places. And then I used a lot of color in it, but my intention was not to have a finished product, but to have pages that would always show me how to do that tingle when I
Right,
needed. And then, of course, I have that indexed out. Um,
right.
so
Oh,
yeah,
that's beautiful.
I just go at it a different way than I'm just not big on having a ton of tiles all over the place. So
Oh,
I
no,
kind of try to
I haven't done mine on tiles for probably 7 years. I've done it on a single opus tile, or I've done it in this book that is continuous. And yeah, I haven't done it on tiles. So, okay, do you guys have questions about what is this called? Holly Lane. Okay, so are you all working on a box now? I can tell you're hard at work. Okay, I'll get hard at work too.
I made the mistake of pulling watercolors out, so I'm lost in watercolor here.
That's fine.
Uh,
Watercolor, color pencils, colored pens, it all works with this. Chalk. Okay. I'm working on one that I want folded. And then, and at the end, I will fold my box again. Oh, let's go on Spotlight.
So Gail, when you put bonus on that little 2¼ by 2¼ that really has to be a pretty small version of that tangle.
It actually, it isn't. It's, I can measure it. Just hang on a second. My ruler's right here. This is, it's 2 inches by 2 inches.
The one I did for Inktober, I think I did one that has like the 12 loops on it. Oops, things are falling out here. Let me see if I can see. Yeah.
Okay, let me change Spotlight again. Spotlight. Oh, wow, look at that. That's beautiful.
It got kind of a rosette look, and it has Daniel Smith color, red on the bottom of it, and then there's quite a bit of chalk on it, which is not showing up here.
Right.
So the chalk, lifted up the edges of the bows, so I thought that was a really nice, it would be a really nice beginner tangle to use at holiday time.
Sure, sure. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so this bow is 2 inches square.
I just did some on a page for today where I tried to make them about an inch. And they tuck under each other really nice once you get used to the tangle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the wrong pen. I don't ever think I've had such a mess with my supplies as I had today. If anyone wants to go back and do a gnome and they don't have a die, I can roll a die for them.
I got caught on one tile with bonus. And I have a very dear friend in Missouri that I like to send tiles to. He is 101.
What?
And this may be his Christmas tile. So
101.
yeah, isn't that cool? And he still hand writes me letters. I get about 2 or 3 letters a year. So when I write him back, I have to handwrite.
My grandfather lived to almost be 102. He was not totally happy about it. because he was basically deaf and blind by the end, but he had a totally active mind. So he was a prisoner. I'm thinking it might be a mistake since I'm giving these away to have used some chalk on these and then they're going to smear. So I think I'm going to have to spray these with some Krylon matte something or another. So they don't lose all their color or their color gets smeared all over someone.
Gail, what's the name of the Holly one again? Oh, Holly Lane, right, got it.
Holly Lane.
Yep, I was on the wrong side of the handout. I'm curious what kind of heavier paper everybody printed their boxes on.
Um, I can't tell you what my weight is because I used a variety. Um, some of it may be 60, but some of it is less than that. 60 pounds, some is
I
less.
had a couple of packs here of some of the Michaels, I think it's called Recollections, scrapbook paper. It's like 65 pound. It went through the photocopier really nice.
Right. So, but some of their paper is heavier than that. But I think they give you often now it gets confusing because sometimes when you buy paper like that, it tells you grams instead of pounds, even though historically we've been using pounds in this country. And so I like to feel the paper actually. I'm big on feeling the paper and
I
trying to.
traced mine onto Bristol.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's a good idea. Mhm.
I didn't have any cardstock here.
Right, and I've used Bristol before, Bristol Smooth and stuff like
Uh-huh.
when we do nature tangles.
I traced it onto a colored file folder
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh,
okay.
neat idea.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't have any cardstock. So, and I hadn't had a chance to get out and get some. So it's like, I could use a file folder.
yeah, yeah. I have some old file folders. You could use the inside of it where that's pretty clean and
Yeah, because I'm going to put the dark red on the inside and then I'm tangling on the light red.
oh, cool. That's a cool idea.
So then I have this pretty inside too.
Right. Okay, I am going to glue another box. And I think this time I'm going to use the glitter glue so you can see what it is because I don't like wet glue, but in the last couple of weeks, I've needed the fine tip of glitter glue for a few things, and I'm actually thinking I'm liking it a bit. So let me get it. I've been using it because I needed a fine tip. Okay, so this is glitter glue, art glitter glue. People just keep calling it glitter glue. In Tucson, you can get it at Blue Moon Scrapbooking over on it's either Broadway or Speedway. Not quite sure how far east, but it's Blue Moon Scrapbooking. It used to be this other company bought it from them. Anyway, um, you have this little you buy it in this little thing, you can refill it, and then you have this pin that goes in, so you can see how tiny the point is. See, the point is super tiny. So I'm just gonna put, and you shake it up a little bit beforehand before you use it. And oh, look, Gail, you didn't put the bow on the top. You put the bow on the side. Okay, this one has the bow at the side, so I'm just holding it. Great plans, not done correctly. Now, it is all pretty well set, that glue. I find that pretty amazing.
Wow.
Normal wet glue, and you have to be careful. You can't leave it unplugged for very long. I'm trying to here. I'll put the glue quickly on this side and then squeeze it in. See, it's already forming a, a, a little plastic seal there. You can see it going across. I'm going to stick the little needle back in the top of it. That for me is the hardest. Okay. And now I'm just going to hold that there and hold the other side. So apparently people who make handmade cards swear by this stuff. And I've just had some very fine things that I've had to glue lately in some of my books. And so I've used it and I've liked it more than I thought I would because I'm not really a fan of, I'm not a fan of wet glue because it often wrinkles the papers and stuff. So I'm just doing a little squeezing. Oh, I need a little more right here. Well, because I put the bow on the wrong side of this, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it into an ornament. So it doesn't get opened up. I'll make one of those strings and I will glue it shut. And we'll hang it from a tree because the bow should have been here on the top. Okay, I'll go get a string. I can get a string quick. Of all my bookmaking stuff, so I will just make a knot here. So apparently all my mistakes end up being ornaments. The other ornament was a mistake uh, because I cut it. I cut the flap off that I needed. Okay. Now I think in this case, I have to press the glue. I think I'm gonna use glue stick on here because since I have to press down on 3 places, it's gonna be hard with the glitter, like glitter glue for me. Because I'm so inexperienced with it. And I'll put some along the edge. Okay. Okay. Any questions? I have been thinking about stopping teaching Zentangle online. I've been thinking about stopping to teach Zentangle, period. But
Why?
well, this class, it ended up being I want to get rid of the spotlight. Remove the spot. Until 3 days ago, there were only 4 people signed up for the class.
Oh,
And now there are 10 of you, but it takes 15 to 20 hours to organize the class, get the idea, make the samples, write the handout, do a PowerPoint and stuff. And if there are only 4 or 5 people, it means I'm just not spending all that time doing my own art. And so I've thought about it, but um, I'm sort of, I think I'd be willing to teach a Valentine class because there are a whole bunch of new Valentine tangles this last year. To teach that in January and maybe teach a nature tangle again in April or something. Um, and just see. But if I really don't have 8 or 10 people, it's a lot of my time that I could be making a book, or I could be making a big Zentangle project
yeah.
of my own, or I'd like to get back to some scratchboard and stuff. So I mean, I love teaching. Okay, that's the problem, is I love teaching and I love putting stuff together. And Val and I have talked about it, and because she teaches a lot of classes and she knows how much time it takes. So it's sort of, I've got one foot going each way at this point.
Gail, when I had my quilt shop, which I ran a shop in rural Wisconsin, I'm sorry, Michigan for 10 years,
Uh-huh.
there were years when our quilt classes just didn't go. We could have put inventory on the floor space that we dedicated for, tables, sewing machines, and all that kind of stuff. And then there were years when we needed double the amount of class space and everything. It was just definitely a rise and fall kind of thing. And I can't pinpoint as to what that was like and everything. You just had to kind of keep your pulse on what people needed. Same problem. Many times you would develop a pattern, you had to do a sample. I had to get somebody to sew the sample if I didn't have time. There were times when I would be at the store till midnight trying to get things together for 6 people, and they'd bring in fabric from another store,
Yeah,
I mean, because
yeah,
obviously we were trying to sell things, sell
right,
the fabrics and everything, because that's the key to it and everything.
right, right.
I just share that it seems like it's almost a common problem kind of thing. I
Well,
know this fall at the nature center that I'm involved in Michigan, there were so many people that wanted to take watercolor. They put a watercolor class together, had to cancel it.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Just not enough people signed up.
It's
Um,
the thing is this is the 42nd class I've taught, and I make every class different. And so it's not like, I mean, I shared in the appendix the stuff, but I try to make everything use the newest tangles
yeah.
and
Mhm.
expose to new people. Anyway, I think I will teach a Valentine's class in January, about a month beforehand. And then maybe that's what I just need to do. Just do 3 or 4 specifically oriented classes a year. And nature tangles, people sign up for that all the time, and I could do one about under the ocean, under the sea. I did one of those and that was super popular. So maybe that's what I need to do. But okay, I won't quit right now, but but I want you to know I'm thinking about it, okay? So,
Okay.
um, okay, whatever you have done lately while we've been working here, I'll put all my things here on my thing here. You're gonna hold it up as best you can. And let's see, I need to get ready to take a picture. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Wait a second, I gotta get my picture thing ready.
Oh, oh,
Look at
goodbye.
you guys. Oh my gosh, how holly, holly, holly. Those are beautiful. Oh, I love the balls with the holly. I love you have holly in a bow, Val. Yay, you have holly in a bow. You all did holly and bows together. Oh, you're so clever. Okay, you can put them down. I am really impressed. Anyway, it's been a fun class, and you can keep drawing, you can talk, you can leave. I look forward to seeing Linda. Linda lives in Salt Lake City,
I know.
and she's going to come here. Her husband goes to the gem show. And Linda, we're just going to do something together. You're not paying me any money. We're just hanging out, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. And yeah. And Gay, you'll be back at Paperworks in January.
In January.
Okay, because
I'm
I
gonna,
won't be I
you
won't be
won't,
in there December either.
okay, I'm gonna sign off because we're leaving tomorrow and I have to finish getting stuff out of the house and into the truck. So, yeah.
Okay,
But
okay,
yeah, no, I'll see you in January. Yeah,
okay.
I did a class yesterday with Ginger Burrell, so that was fun.
And what class was that?
It was dot books, little 1 inch circles within an accordion book.
Oh, it was the third bookmaking group. Yes?
It's the brand new one,
Okay.
content creation.
Oh,
Yeah,
the content one. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, it was fun. It was
good,
fun. So
good.
it was like put our
Wanda, do you know about Paperworks? Wanda?
Ma-
Oh, I don't. Mm-mm.
oh,
No.
oh,
So Paperworks is um I have so many friends who have joined from the Desert Museum who are members of Paperworks now. Paperworks meets basically on River and Grant, Grant, uh,
Swan.
Swan, the other one, Swan, once a week, the first Thursday of the month. There are about 250 members. About 200 live in Tucson. The rest of the people are from artsy fartsy places like Santa Fe, Seattle, Los Angeles, Chicago. This year, we're not having any outside workshops, but in the last 2 years, we've had a lot of people do workshops online, people that are well known in all kinds of fields. And if you are a member, you can take the workshop, even if it's online, for a very inexpensive. It costs $40 to join this thing. Okay. And they have a bunch of meetups. Gay is in this thing called book content. I help teach one bookmaking group called Book Arts. And then I'm a regular fellow in another one called Fold Glue Sew. And the these small meetups are like 12, 13 people, and they aren't classes. Everybody is supposed to participate and give, and it's fabulous.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I taught one class on Monday, and then yesterday I was in a class, and so, I mean, these are you'd pay $60, $100 to go take this class, and somebody is teaching it, and it's not costing you anything.
Except supplies, that's it. And sometimes not even the supplies.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
And
it was,
there's always a lecture. There's a business meeting, there's a lecture. There are artist challenges like 3 times a year where you're challenged to do something, and 20 to 45 people will enter it, and the creativity is unbelievable.
it is.
I would say that there are probably 50 artists within the group that are in galleries all the time. And not
Mm.
just galleries here, but galleries in Seattle, Chicago, Minneapolis,
International also.
international
Yeah.
artists. They have art shows where you can submit stuff. I mean, it's it's juried shows and you're lucky to get in, and it's just unbelievable.
It's, you know, in the on
And there's
the
the speakers.
oh
Didn't
yeah, the
you
speaker.
love the speaker
I love the speakers. They're
last week?
just so interesting. And then they're on their website.
Hmm.
I was searching around and there's you go further into it and there was a calendar that is like nationwide.
Yeah, yeah.
I listened to a Zoom. I signed up for a Zoom last night. The lady presented and it was put together from San Diego, their book guild, but the presenter was from Santa Fe. She challenged herself to make 52 books last year,
One each
one a
week.
week. Yeah, she got 45 done and she
Wow.
showed the different types and everything
Wow.
and asked questions and, about challenges and materials and everything. And it was just fascinating. And last week's, 2 weeks ago, their presentations at Paperworks here were just,
She's a watercolorist from San Francisco who works very large, breaks every watercolor rule
yeah,
there is. She likes bloom. She scrubs stuff out. She uses very heavy paper. I
lots
wrote
of
her
water.
afterwards and told her if I had heard her before I took watercolor, I would have kept up at watercolor.
Yeah,
Her work is unbelievable,
yeah,
unbelievable.
it's
And
gorgeous.
she flew in from San Francisco to speak, and the speaker speaks for an hour and there's a presentation. And I mean, there's this one woman I met who keeps coming from Portland or something. She I don't know why somebody centered me for a question, and every time she comes now, she comes and sort of corners me. She's a little old lady, okay?
Uh-huh.
I don't consider I'm old, but I'm not a little old lady, but she's a little old lady making a beeline for me. It's pretty funny. So, but it's a great organization. It's
It's
just
fun.
I
Yeah.
had thought about it, joining it years ago. So Catherine Nash has been a member since the get-go,
Sure.
and she
Okay.
did a presentation, I think in September. She was the guest speaker, and I went to her opening last night up at Tohono Chul. It was
Oh,
great.
nice.
It was great.
Nice. Yeah, I had her out at the Desert Museum and then
Uh-huh.
there were some people in yesterday's class that were showing marbled paper, the Japanese marbled paper
Oh, right.
and paste paper. And I go, well, that's something new. So I had to Google that.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's so many different, if you can do it in paper or include paper in it somehow, it's fascinating. It really is. And
There are
it
sculptors
just,
in there, and there are quilters, and
yeah. I signed up, they have a postcard exchange twice a year. So I signed up for the summer one. And you get 3 names and you make postcards at least once during the summer to these 3 people, and you never sign it. You just send them a postcard and wish them the best summer or whatever, but you don't put your name on it. And you don't find out till I think it was September. And I didn't make the September meeting, but last week I sat down and this lady next to me introduced herself and we got to talking. So I sent a thank you to the 3 people who I
oh,
found out had sent me cards. And the lady comes back the first email and she goes, didn't I just sit next to you in yesterday's
Yeah.
meeting? And
Yeah.
we didn't realize it. Or I'm going, well, Annie, okay. And I had forgotten. And she goes, or is there a different gay? So that was interesting. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
so this is a book I made. I've been in the postcard exchange for years,
Hmm.
and I made this book out of envelopes. And so for the summer of 23, that's what this is.
Oh,
These are all the postcards that I got from people.
Yeah, oh, fun. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, they're photographers,
yeah. Ooh,
lots of collage people. It's Linda Feltner belongs,
mm-hmm.
uh, Shirley Streeter. I don't know. I can't
I
get
know
this.
the name.
Yeah, I can't get them back in there. Anyway, the book has no back to it because so I can keep adding stuff on it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sounds like
okay.
a lot of fun.
I'm gonna stop the recording, but you don't have to go away. You don't